today's title, I thought about this week as I was in Indiana. Making more money hasn't ever been my problem. And so I know, and literally, if you saw the promo or you saw the ad before, because I always do an ad hour or so before the show, and the title on the ad was "Making More Money Hasn't Ever Been a Problem for Me." And then I had to put in parentheses, my wife, Tracy, hates this title. And so, I think part of the success of the show is that the titles make sense to people. They might rub people a little bit differently. They might make people think a little differently. But that's what this is all about. Wired differently. This is why I literally think about what I'm going to drink out of, and I literally think about the shirt I'm wearing or things, because I want people to understand that you are made by God. You're made individually. There's like no way genetically that you could ever be the same as anybody ever in the world ever created, ever. You are special. You are elite and deserve to be treated as such because you are the best in the world at your craft. I mean, we've talked about this at ends. And I was just thinking as I was coming home from Indiana this week, 2 days ago, literally 2 days ago. It was actually 1 day ago. It was Saturday. It was yesterday. How time flies, right? And I was on the plane. And I was just thinking about the show and the title and where I was going to be with this thing. And it's making money hasn't ever been a problem for me. Why is that? And then I got home, and I just kind of want to tell you about my day. And then I'm going to get into these 5 points of not drifting and why making more money hasn't ever been a problem for me. But I have had problems. I mean, I have problems in my life and in my business life, but making money of them isn't ever really been one of them. And it's been 55, 56 years now. And so I think I can confidently talk about that. Now, there's time on the clock. I get it, right? But here's the deal. So I get on a plane yesterday. I get up at 4 a.m. I get on a plane. I drive to Fort Wayne, Indiana airport. I get on Delta, and I'm not going to be shy about it. I fly first class home. I come back and forth all the time. I have all these miles and points, and I'm a diamond status because you travel so much, right? And so I get there. The people know me at the airport. They say hi, and I get on the plane. I don't have to wait too long. I just get up in the front, and they serve me a wine or coffee or whatever it is. They don't serve coffee yet, but they take care of you. And then I go into Atlanta, a perfect flight into Atlanta, and I sit there in Atlanta, and I get off one gate and I walk all the way down to the D gate, and I'm literally walking stride for stride, and they call me onto the plane. At this point, I've had no layovers. I've had no problems, no trouble whatsoever. And I get on first class in Atlanta, right? And the people are familiar around there, and I fly all the way from Atlanta to Tampa. I get off at Tampa, and I say hi to the gate guy on the way out, and they're familiar. Not one bump. Not one problem. I started at 4 a.m, and my day was perfect, right? Perfect. I watched 2 movies, read a little bit on my next speech I was going to give, and moved around some things and started thinking about this. And as I get out to Tampa, I walked direct. I remembered where my truck was parked without any phone aids or anything like that. And I walked in my truck, and my day's perfect. I get in the truck, and I come out of the gate, and I go through the gate checkout where you get the ticket to pay for long-term parking. And I don't have to use a ticket because I got a Sun Pass, and I just drive through the gate. I didn't hit one red light all the way home. I rode first class, got to my truck, no memory problems, drive all the way across the Sun Bridge, and I go all the way home, no red lights. I get all the way to my house, and I roll up in the house around 4 o'clock. The house is clean. I lay down for a second and check Facebook and do a few things. And then my wife comes home and says, honey, I miss you. She gives me a hug and tells me she loves me, right? And then my daughter, Kara, comes flying around the corner. She says, Dad, give me a hug. I'm like, my life, what is going, this day could not get any better. Oh, but it does. It gets better because now I'm going to eat at the Shore restaurant on Longboat Key to meet my business partner, Sam Fessenden, who flew all the way in from Michigan to meet with my family, my company, and our people and his employees. He's a great guy, and he brought his wife, and we ate dinner for 2 hours in the most beautiful restaurant in Longboat Key. Now, might be debatable. It's spectacular. We say our goodbyes, we come home, and what do I see when I get home around 9 o'clock? All my children, Courtney, Kendra, Kara, their fiancés, their boyfriends, their husbands, all my grandchildren running around, and my grandson Saylor's there. Everyone's having fun at the fire on the ocean water. I mean, I'm not trying to brag for you. I'm just trying to say, my day, we went to bed, we watched a little TV, and we had a little champagne, and we went night-night. What a perfect day. Entrepreneurship isn't always that sexy, but that day, yesterday, man. I mean, that day, that day was amazing. And, I think a lot of us, we're afraid to talk about that day. I might not even get to my 5 steps, because I think a lot of us are afraid to say good things. I mean, if someone came to you and said, "Oh, I've got the worst day in the world," and you say, "Oh, tell me about it." How many of you could actually get through my good day? I hope all of you. I see my viewers climbing, but I think that too many of us are too ready to tell everybody about how their day sucked, how things are going with their parents, or how things are going with their children, or how business or the COVID schmovid. And I get it. I am in pain too over a lot of this financially. We haven't had any family members hit hard. I've had some friends hit hard. I get it, but I just don't, I don't want you to have to knock on wood every time you want to talk about something great or good, because that is part of being wired differently, our ability to push out and say, you know what? Making money really isn't that hard for me. You know what? I had a great day. I'm going to tell you about my day. I'm going to tell you how fortunate I am that God is in my life, how fortunate that I've be able to get through some of these difficult moments. But I'm going to tell you how stinking awesome, how ridiculously crazy awesome my day was yesterday. It was so awesome that I'm emotional right now talking about it. I don't know. Because I think we're so consumed in life that we just don't look for those moments. I don't think we look for them. And when we have them, we don't tell people. We just don't tell them because we don't want to be showy, or we don't want to be over too much. But I'm telling you, people want to know the good. So I thought I'd share that with you. But making more money, there we go. Making money. And so what does that have to do with making money? It hasn't ever been my problem. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, because Tracy didn't like the title because it's showy, it's a little outward, and it's like, oh, well, what if you don't make money tomorrow? What if all of a sudden everything crashes and all these wired differently and all this shows and all your ego stuff, whatever, goes away? Well, I still had that one day, right? I still had that one day. And so I just want to encourage you all to look for that day, look for that moment, and not be afraid to say that there are good things in your life. And I'm going to tell you right now, from a business front, from an entrepreneurial front, to stay on this theme, from last week to this week, I want to tell you that Todd Saylor's problem has never been to make more money. Now, what I want to tell you this is that making more money doesn't mean you've made a lot of money. It just means that I've never had trouble making more money. What the pure point of the title, though, is my trouble isn't making more money. So you should be saying, well, what's your trouble, Todd? You're right. I mean, that's what I want you to, when you read the title, instead of thinking he's an egomaniac, right? I want you to say, oh, well, what's your trouble? If money isn't making more money isn't your problem, then what's your trouble? Well, I will tell you this. And this is where I want to help some people. This is where I really want people to understand that this attitudinal disorder of wired differently people is a big deal, right? We live for that one day, right? We live for that one day. And we're not afraid to say that we're not going to make money. But I will tell you this, with my problem is, how do I keep it? Right? How do I know where to put it? How do I know how to rise? And so what I'm going to do for you right now is talk to you about the 5 no drift tips to keep rising. Because the first tip I've got to give you is live for that one day. All right? Live for that one day. This wired differently world, this entrepreneurial side of things, this thing about you getting out of bed and doing your shit every day, you need to figure out that what your lane is and why you're doing it, because you're going to get that one day. And you know what? Sometimes that one day is just good enough. Right? But from a business perspective, I haven't had trouble making more money. I've worried about making money. To this day, I still worry about making money, because as you get more successful and you get more aggressive in your business thoughts and your moves, you get more confident, but you do put yourself out there more, because little risk, little reward. Big risk, big reward. In this entrepreneurial world that we've been talking about, risk is imperative, because we took this employmentship route at first, and then we went into this business-ship route, and now we started creating different things out of our lane, and we started creating different things that would set other people apart and us apart, right? And so here we are. So 5, this is a generic title message too, because I think anybody, you don't have to be in business, because business and entrepreneurship is really about relationships. And so these 5 no drift tips are going to work for, obviously, your entrepreneurial business side and your marriage and your family and all these things. I want to go over these. They've worked for me. I think about things that have worked for me, why I'm still standing, why I'm still doing all these things. And, because I want to let you know, attitude is a separator. Attitude, and you've all heard this, right? You've all heard that an attitude is the differentiator. You've all heard, it. And if you're listening to me, which there's a lot of you listening right now, and I'm grateful for it. The attitude is everything. All right. And I want you to take that attitude into these 5 tips to keep rising, because that wired differently person, the reason I think that I've been most successful, and pretty much I've been successful from the time I was a younger man to now. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, when it came to a race, I wanted to win it. When it came to pole vaulting, I wanted to win it. When it came to playing football and getting starting positions, I wanted to win it. When it came to opening my first business, I was going to be first to market. I was going to do it in college. I opened my first business. I mean, it's this attitudinal disorder that separates us from them. So 5 no drift tips to keep rising, because the number one thing I want you to tell you is you got to always rise. So here we go. Number 1, budget cuts are not a plan. And so when I say budget cuts, I want you to see this as not just a budget cut in a budget or in a business model. It's this idea of retreating, right? So what I'm trying to explain to you right now is that it's easier to go get some than it is to take some. But a lot of us in a difficult moment in business and in life and in relationship, our own personal finances, it's a lot of us, the first time we get in trouble with finances or we get in trouble with things, we think, where can we cut? I mean, I've done it. I still do it. I mean, it's not like you can't avoid the idea of cutting sometimes. But I do want you to understand that I want you not to have that first impulse and that lasting impulse to always go to cut, to always go to unbundle, to take away, to always go to this defense mode of shrink, shrink, shrink. We got trouble. Because this is the mindset that's going to set you apart for the next 4 points I'm going to give you. Number 1, budget cuts are not a plan. They are a moment or a play. Yeah, so when things go bad, when the COVID comes, when all these things happen, I did a lot of shows when the COVID first came. I said, okay, how are we going to do this? And everyone's like, we did it. We retracted a little bit and then we looked around. But one of the first things I told you was to go to the banks, figure out how to work those deferment loans, try to figure out what the government was going to do. It wasn't necessarily just cut everything, okay? And business is the same way because I think salmon swim upstream. And when there's opportunity for many or things start to change, there's going to be opportunity for you. And so I just don't think that budget cuts are a plan. They're a moment or a play. There's something that you can put into your repertoire. But I want your mind always looking forward. I want your mind always looking for how to make more than to cut more. Everybody's cutting. Everybody. Go get some. Right? Go get some. Don't go to default and shrink and shrivel, because go get some is a much healthier attitude, a much better business plan, a much better family plan, a much better leadership role, a much better way to apply yourself as a wired differently person and a leader of your family and your company, and even if you're employmentship in your job. Go get some. I'm here to fire you up over that. I know it isn't easy, but if your mind is there, you'll go there. If your mind is there, you're going to go back there. You see what I'm saying? This place is not for you. This place is for you. Number 1, making money has never been a problem for me, but drift has, and this is what I have to tell myself. Budget cuts are not a plan. They're a moment or a play. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. Number 2, next vision mode. All right. Next vision mode. Okay. Next vision mode. I get excited about this stuff because I'm accused often of being a visionary, or worse yet, a dreamer, a storyteller. I've been accused. I've been accused of those words, right? And they're true, right? I am a dreamer. I am a visionary. I am that person who looks to the next vision, because one vision is a beginning and an end. And when you're in these times of pulling back, and you're in these times of having difficult trouble, you can sit there in your room and be on the internet all day long and figure out how you can cut. Or you can think of the first vision, and then if that vision works, you can start to work on the second vision to parlay the first vision. I know this, but here's what I want to tell you about next vision mode is that vision, dreamers, storytellers, and thinkers like myself, the vision component costs no money. None yet. No, because we're not doing the backwards, we're doing the forward, right? You're spending your time thinking about how you're going to dig out and cut and squander and waller and do this. Or you can think about, hey, let's tighten up a little bit, but let's go get some. Let's go get some. I mean, we got to break that mold. This wired differently attitudinal disorder is going to drive you forward, right? So 1, budget cuts are not a plan. And number 2, next vision mode. Vision costs you no money. That dream. And let me tell you something. Every time I've gotten depressed, or every time that I go through I'm not diagnosed bipolar, but I got to tell you, I probably have a little bit of it in me. And I know for a fact, and if some of my family members are listening and some of my employees are listening, they know me. But I'm going to tell you what. When I'm down, everybody around me's down. I can't let that happen. But I also know that when I'm down and I get the vision of how to fix it, I'm up. Right? So the message there is, when you're down, when you need that to go get some, make a plan, have that vision. And even before you solve the problem, even before the money problem goes away, even before the whole process, the dream and the vision is hatched, you feel better because you got a chance and you're not going backwards, you're going forward. So number 2, next vision mode, meaning that you got to have that principal vision and then you got to be working on your subsequent visions because it's fun, because it's the answer, because that's your hope. That's your path. That's your avenue. That's the way to separate. That's the way to get out of the depression. That's the way to get out of the dark. That's the way to get out of the way of anything that's holding you back, is if you have a plan. Right? You can't execute a plan, if you don't have one? I'm not preachy today. I'm just having fun with you. Number 3, listen to me. Number 3, constantly. This is the one that I get the most. If my wife was in here, this is the one. She didn't like the title. So I put a disclaimer on the title and said that my wife didn't like this title. So constantly, number 3, constantly desire more. I know. Todd is such an egomaniac. Todd Saylor, that guy, he's what can you do with him? Todd Saylor, right? He just went on the World Wide Web and said to constantly desire more or better. Why can he say that? Why does Todd act like that? I know it. I listen, this is fun growing this viewership. And I've got some people out there that really, I wouldn't say her name Lou or anything like that, but these people hold me accountable and they come after me and I have to take it. But if you can just hang in there with me, why not desire more? Why not desire better? You don't have to step on people. Your more can be more for other people. My more, and that's where people get confused is, oh, Todd wants more. He wants a bigger car. He wants a bigger house. He wants a bigger this. And maybe, but also Todd's more is to help more, to donate more, to give more. My wife and I have been blessed beyond measure. And we love to be philanthropic. That's part of more, right? To give more, right? To give to your church more, to give to the needy more, to create space for other people to do more, to do random acts of kindness. That's more. And that even isn't even, we want to do more and or better. Because here we are, same logic. If we're not doing more or better, we're doing less. And worse. There's no in between. In Wired Differently, I think chapter 3, we talk about, do you want to be average? Execute a plan. Well, again, I want you to constantly desire more and or better. After all, do you just want to be average? let me tell you something. I've got remarkably 3 daughters. I got a 30-year-old daughter, Courtney Saylor, who was an amazing equestrian, and she competed and won 4 state championships. And I would tell her day in and day out when it was time for her to go ride and work out, do you want to be average? And it would drive her crazy. If any of you know Courtney, she would fire back like nobody's business, right? And then I had Kendra, who was my middle daughter. Well, she was my little daughter until 9 years later I had a third daughter named Kara. But Kendra was the same way. And she would play basketball and volleyball. And she was good time, Kendra. I mean, she had to have fun with everybody. Everyone loved Kendra because she was goofy and all that. But she was competitive. She did not like starting on the volleyball team. So she went back and she did the reps. And I said to her, if you want to start, if you want to be that person, you want to be this person in life, do you want to be average? And I drove it into her too. And then last but not least was my last daughter, Kara Nicole Saylor. She's the little one, and the older girls talk about her being the golden child, and they're all golden children, right? Can't pick favorites. But I will tell you what, this last one, Kara Saylor, she went on to play softball at Stetson University and got a scholarship academically and for softball, and she's paving her way. But unfortunately, she had about a gut full of me, right? She had more of me than the other 2 girls, which is a bone of contention in some ways probably. But listen, this poor girl, Kara, heard it day in and day out. If she wanted to play college softball, if she wanted to do anything at another level, that she needed to do the reps. And I constantly said to her, do you want to be average? Because you see, this idea of not being average is fitting into this number 3, this psychological side for you and for everyone. Constantly desire more or better. Better yet, I'm going to erase this. I'm going to erase this right here. Constantly more. Maybe I can do it. Maybe I can just do it. Let me just show off more. And I'm going to get some mail on this one. There we go. Watch this. Boom. Constantly desire more and better. After all, do you just want to be average? I mean, no, you don't. I want more out of you, right? I want you to read the book. I want you to understand what that's about. I want those things to be for you. I want you to share those things with your children and put your own twist on it in this attitudinal disorder. But I think that we're better off wanting more than wanting less, and wanting to do more for other people. All right, number 4. All right, we beat that one up. My kids are going to be screaming at me. Number 4, hatch the plan, damn it. What? Let's fix that too. Come on now, Todd. Let's fix that one. Let's just fix that one. Hatch the plan. All right. Hatch the plan. This is important. Damn it. Here we go. Hatch the plan, damn it. Constantly desire more. Hatch the plan, damn it. You must go or you are in quo. You must go or you are in quo. So we've already went through budget cuts or no plan. Then we went through next vision mode because vision costs you no money. And then we go back to constantly number 3, the one that I'm getting all the hate mail on or love mail or whatever you want to call it. Give me some mail. I don't care. Constantly desire more or better. Do you even want to be average? We don't want that. Number 4, we're about to bring this home. Hatch the plan, damn it. Hatch the plan, damn it. Because if you don't hatch the plan, you're never going to get there. This believe, prepare, attack thing, I mean, it's real. Believe, right? Believe, prepare, attack. Right? A lot of us are good believers. A lot of us are good preparers. We study all day long, but a lot of us just can't pull the trigger. A lot of us just can't start the fire. A lot of us are just having trouble with what we learned last week. 0 to 1. Get the ball down the court. Get out there. Get in the pool. Get in the water. Get going. Hatch the damn plan. It may not work, but once you're in it, you're moving around and you're making things happen. Now, again, I know I'm telling you things that I just want to fire you up a little bit because I know a lot of us out there are working real hard to figure things out right now. And I want to give you hope because we're living for that one day. Remember the beginning of this show? Just that one day. It's so worth it. And number 5, here we go. Last thing I'm going to tell you is succeed at something. So here's the idea, right? We're not using budget as a business plan. We're in next vision mode, and we're constantly desiring more and better. And lastly, we just talked about is hatch the damn plan. Go. If you're not going to go, you're in what we call the land of quo. And finally, succeed at something. Oh my gosh, so many people get hung up on this whole idea of having to go D1. Having to go to the NFL. So many people are so hung up on coming out of the box a rock star. Well, that's not how I did it. And that's not how Elon Musk did it. That's not how Steve Jobs did it. That's not how Bill Gates did it. That's not how the guy over there at whatever that goofy guy at Amazon, what's his name? I just drawing blank right now. That's not how he did it. You got to get in the water. You got to go. And sometimes you just have to do little things to become successful. My children, we all worked it hard to help them be successful at little things as they were growing up. We want to build that mentality of a winner. I watched this interview with Elon Musk just the other day, and the guy, I mean, he's brilliant, and he's just completely wired differently, dude. Built PayPal, sold PayPal, ran out of money building Tesla, and ran out of money building Tesla, and then he ran out of money building SpaceX, but he never quit. He literally probably went through this. Budget cuts are not a plan. He was always in next vision mode, right? And he was constantly desiring more. Think about it. You sell PayPal, you blow all that money on Tesla, then you blow all that money and you spend it on SpaceX, and you're about out to your final penny until you shoot a rocket ship into the air, right? And you got intelligence going all over the world, and bam, you did it again, Elon. Because he hatched the damn plan. I mean, I don't want to make it sound too easy, but this is the fabric of an entrepreneurial mindset, of a winner mindset, of a business mindset, of a great employmentship mindset. These are the things you need to have. And last but not least, succeed at something. Go figure out how to build a website. Go figure out how to do something. Just gradually become successful at things. Because success breeds success. And Elon Musk interview said, you don't even need college. Not in this day and age. Why? If you know what you want, all you have to do is put it up here in the search box, right? Put what you want in that search box, and you put, how do I build a ship? And Google kicks it out. And you got more plans on how to build a ship than you could ever imagine. If you wanted to learn how to make a hamburger, Google how to make a hamburger. If you want to learn how to make a car from scratch, if you want to build a gun from scratch, if you want to learn how to become a source code developer, Google it. You want to learn how to do payroll, Google it. You want to learn how to be wired differently? Google my damn book, right? It's right there. I mean, it's not a problem. The only thing you need in this world in America is desire. I don't know why I get like this. I mean, I just, because I'm not the smartest guy, right? Just something a little different. This isn't about me. This is about you. It's about you setting yourself apart. This is about you deciding to become something just a little bit better, a little bit more. This is about you not looking for ways to get out of things or to cut back. This is about you to look for things, how to get forward, how to make more money. How are you going to make more money? We shouldn't be thinking about how we're going to cut back. We're going to think about how we're going to make more, to get more, to pay for more, to dig our way out of this financial situation, how to pay for that new car. And if you think about it, if you just do the scribing, the math on it, you figure about, well, if I wanted a new car and it's only $100 a month, what do I got to do just to get $100 more a month? I mow a yard, I deliver a paper, I do some consulting. I want the mind frame to change. Anyways, I'm a little intense today. I was a little nervous about this message because it's my wife didn't like the title. I know if she listens to this, she's probably going to say you did a good job. I want you to know though, but drift is not a business plan. All right. So we got the 5. Let's just run through these 5, right? Making more money has never been a problem for me. And it's a metaphor for exactly what I'm trying to talk to you about, success. Making more money has not been a problem for me. Success has not been a problem for me because I've started off being successful at a young age, and my father and my mother helped build this person to become successful through life. Little things, and they help mold that mindset to push forward, not backwards, right? Not to retreat, but to continue to plow forward. And when we do retreat, we look for reasons to retreat because that's only going to make us stronger going forward, right? And number 2, have the vision to understand that's what you're doing. You're going forward. You may be moving lateral. You may take a step backwards, but your business model isn't to cut back. Your business model is to find out ways to get more, not how to get rid of more. And 3, I want you to understand that you're constantly desiring more and better because you don't want to be average. Now get out there and hatch that damn plan, get moving, get off your ass, and let's go, because that's what we got to do, because we can't sit back and wait for stuff to happen. I know it's where we're at with this. So success is something you need to be doing every day. One little thing, just become a habit of being successful. Become a successionaire first. Become a successionaire first. It's not about the money. It's about who you're helping, becoming successful in helping other people, becoming successful in this product you're developing, becoming successful in your parenting, becoming successful in your baseball game, becoming successful in your football game, becoming successful in the business model, becoming successful at your job, being the best employee, become the employee of the month, become the employee of the year. Do those things, but become successful, right? Become a successionaire. Then the whole world opens up for you. All right, so I want to close with that. I know. I get a little energetic, but maybe that's come to the reasons you like me. And if not, then you'll find another reason to like me, I hope. So here's what I want you to understand. So I closed last week's show with a little bit of something because I gave you 5 tips to help keep you rising. And so I wanted to kind of do something different with all my shows here. And so here's what I did. So first of all, I'm going to do a little quick commercial here because my book, Wired Differently, is going on sale this Christmas because my new book is coming out, Drift Again, in April. So I want to do a Christmas blowout. So here's a little ad. Check this out, and then we're going to close this show. Kind of cool, right? Anyways, Wired Differently is a great book. It's done. I mean, we've sold thousands of books. I've given away hundreds of books. It's been a great experience for me. And my next book is titled Drift Again, 7 Traits of Wired Differently People. So I'm super excited for you guys to pick that book up when we get that. But let's blow this one out this Christmas and do those things. So here's something else I wanted to do. So here's kind of wanted to wrap up the day. So I told you about my great day, right? That one, I know I got a little emotional, but I was telling you about the one great day. I mean, we're living for that one great day, right? And hopefully we have a lot of those one great days. So here is my lovely wife, and this is my one great day. This is me in our kitchen and my wife, Tracy, and she's just absolutely beautiful and spectacular and all those things. And this is me coming home after my great day and going out for our date that night to meet with Sammy and the business partner I had. And we had that great dinner. The whole day was spectacular from 4 a.m. to 11 p.m. or whatever that night was. Tracy, thank you for a great day. And you're just absolutely spectacular and beautiful. Just thank you for that one great day and the family that did that. Okay, secondly, the great day, I woke up and I was serving my wife breakfast in bed. And if you look real close, you can see that Nick Walinda coffee mug there. And I sent that to Nick to let him know I was using his coffee mug. But that's the end of my one great day. And then, so here's the last thing I want to share you about the 5 tips to keep you successful and rising. So this morning was my grandson, Saylor, and he was out on the deck, and after we did breakfast and everything, he was, if you can see right there, he was digging dinosaur bones out of this little, I don't know what it was, and I helped him dig that out and everything, but he's a great kid, but he heard some noise out there, and he was looking out into the ocean, and it just dawned on me about the 5 tips to keep you successful and to keep you rising. We don't want you to go backwards. But if you look in the outer of that ocean view there, you can see Saylor looking out into the ocean. But I want you to look out. You can see the Longboat Key Bridge out there. It's going out to the Gulf of Mexico. You can see all that water. Normally that's all water out there. But you can see those weeds out there and that dirt outside the mangroves. Well, it happens to be low tide. And Saylor was looking out at low tide because he saw a bunch of beautiful birds. And the thing about low tide is that this is a picture of the low tide, and it sometimes even gets lower than that. And you can see the bottom of the ocean out there just outside our canal. But here's the thing I want to bring it all back home and end this to you with is that low tide comes and low tide goes. It always rises, though. God created the ocean to always rise and always come back, right? So I just want you to know that it's incumbent on us to understand that we will have some low moments. We will have some low moments. But guess what? The tide always rises again. And all boats rise with the tide. And I want you to be looking forward to those high tides. I want you to be looking forward to those rising tides. I want you to be looking forward to the way it's wired out there in the ocean, right? Because it's always rising. It's always coming back. And these low moments are actually not so bad sometimes. Because when we have a low tide out there, you can see birds out there feeding, and you can hear the beautiful noises like Saylor was looking at out there, because the low tide brought him those beautiful birds. The low tide brought him some time to actually look backwards and to figure out how to prepare for the high tide. All right, so that was my message, and I totally ran long, so I apologize for that, and I cannot believe how many people stayed with me on this entire show. Well, you guys have a great day. God bless you, and I want you to look for that one great day and understand that we're working towards high tides. Let's stay forward. I appreciate everything. I love you guys, and I love doing these shows. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to hang out with you, and we'll see you next week.